This is your boy Twinskii, and this story is about me. To be honest with you, this is about a boy. This is about a boy who just wanted to shine his light. This is the story of me. There was a time when I was a kid, man. There was a time when I was a kid. I was always told that you had to do it this way, you had to do it that way. That it couldn't be done this way, it couldn't be done that way. When I know that there was a higher purpose and a bigger calling for the things I was doing. As a kid, I was always told that I was doing wrong, and that this was wrong, and this you need to do it this way. Conditioning. People have been trying to condition me since the ends of time, and I've never conformed to conditioning. Would it be through anything? I've never conformed to conditioning. I've never conformed to what it is to be normal. I've always been different. When I was a kid, I used to play instruments with my hands. I used to play instruments like literally like at 3. That's not normal, you know. I was always musically inclined since a baby. You know, when I first started going to school, I couldn't understand why we had to take a nap time. I hated that. I just hated being forced to do actions that I never wanted to do. I've always been that type of kid. Because I always felt like you always could do whatever you wanted to do, right? Not in a sense of rebellion, but in a sense of freedom. And everyone saw it as rebellious. Everybody saw me as a monster and that was as a kid. As a kid, I was so expressive, and people told me that I was doing wrong and that I shouldn't have been expressive and that I shouldn't be expressive. I looked at them as if they were crazy, wondering why can't I be the way I am. Had no reason. Well, some days I just like to stand up. I used to be a kid who just couldn't sit down for a long time. I needed to stand up. And a teacher threw my binder in the garbage because I wanted to stand up. This is the life of me. I've always been tried and tried again for things to try to suppress my light. But I had accepted, in recent standing, I had accepted that nothing's going to be able to suppress my light. I'm going to show my light to the world because the world deserves it. Now, I'm going to tell this story from the beginning. As a kid, I always wanted to fit in. Not understanding I was not supposed to fit in, I was supposed to stand out. I wanted to fit in and caught myself and found myself in places with people that I shouldn't have been with. And since I didn't fit in and I stood out, I got embarrassed for it. See how it works? When you're chasing something, you're running away from something. And so I got embarrassed for it as a child, for just being different. And I've always been different. But for some people, they hated me for it because they didn't understand how you could be so cool and different at the same time. Like, everybody still messed with me even though I wasn't like everybody else. And some people envy and was jealous of that. They had envy and jealousy towards the secret animosity. And some of those people I called my friends. Now, I know most people don't go through these type of problems, and if you do, I hope this resonates with you. But it didn't stop there. As a child, I just was forced to learn ways on how to show less expression so that I can fit in within the crowds. Pretty much put on a mask to save myself so that nobody can point me out and say that I stand out. Put a cloak over my light so that people couldn't see that I was shining so bright, because I didn't want to outshine anybody. And it actually hurt me than helped me. It's actually harder to dim my light than to show myself. And it took me to this age to realize it. And so it didn't stop there as a kid. As a young kid, 10, 12, I went through a lot of problems within school, right? Because I just wanted to be free. And I'd fight with the principal to be free. It didn't matter to me at all who it was that I had to fight against. I was going to fight against the highest powers in order to feel some type of freedom. Because not being able to stand up was crazy to me. And people along the way have told me I was an F-up. People along the way told me I would never be nothing. And I just look at them in disbelief. Because the hope and faith I have in myself, no one instilled in me. I was born with it. And so for me, I moved with that hope and that promise that I'd be something, that I'd always be something. That means if I always get knocked down, I will always get up. And I had that hope and faith, and it instilled in me since birth. And I thank God for it. Because I understand that not a lot of people have that, and so I'm here to be the testimony. It didn't stop there. As a young teenager, I tried even more to mask myself. I know a lot of people are wearing masks. You don't have to wear a mask. If you're different, show yourself. I promise you, it's harder to hide yourself than to show yourself. Yes, the people that you've hid yourself with are also hiding themselves. And yes, these are your friends at the moment, but they don't always have to be. If you was to show yourself, your friends are going to come. Your lovers are going to come. The people that's supposed to be in your life is going to come. And those people are going to walk away from you. And people letting go is their hardest battle. But you have to let go of things that don't serve you. You have to. So as a teenager, I was falling in the line of wearing a mask. I was wearing a mask. Wearing the biggest mask I could find. Trying to be nonchalant, act like I don't care. Try to be non-expressive. Try to be as heartless as I could. But deep down inside, I was the most loving, caring person that I knew. I was the most unselfish person that I knew. And everyone around me were eaters, selfish, takers. And I'd give to them. But only they knew I was a giver. And if anybody else knew, they'd end up just putting them in the clique. Because I was useful, I was helpful. And instead of people looking at me for the light I had, they was looking at me for a resource. I was the brightest light. But what they were trying to do was get a piece of me. And at the time, I didn't understand. And in high school, I gave too much of my energy away. I gave too much of myself away. I gave to people that wouldn't give to me back. And I didn't realize it until I went to college that you can find people that will give to you. You can find people that you can connect with genuinely. And that's going to care and love for you the same way you love for yourself. And it's crazy to say that. It all happened to you. And when I was in college, I realized those people, most of them, I say some of them, but most of them cared about me in a way I didn't care about myself. In a way I turned so careless because of the mask I was wearing. And for a second, I took the mask off to tell those people that I loved them, tell those people that I cared about them. And yeah, I may have been drunk, or I may have been vulnerable, but it was the truth. And it was hard for me, but they didn't know that because not a lot of people was there for me. Not a lot of people were going to say, oh, I'm going to ride with you and prove that. I found people that was going to ride with me. And I found people that was going outside with me. I found people that was going to go against me. But to me, that always happened in life, so it was nothing new. They were acting like they were a new villain in my story. They were just a new face. And when I came back from college, I figured out who my real friends are. I figured out who my real family was. I figured out who cared about me the most. I figured out what mattered to me. And I figured out what mattered to other people. And I distanced myself from things that I no longer served. And found myself with someone I thought that I could pour into their cup and they could pour into mine. Only to figure out that I've been betrayed by another taker. Love. But love and heartbreak. And it was hard for me. It was hard. But it's okay. I'm moving. I'm breathing. I'm living. I heal. You know, I'm moving forward within my life. And I know that everybody who done me wrong is regretting. Everybody who's hating on me, it's hard to hate. Because it's not about you. I've been dealing with this my whole life. It's about doing something that I was supposed to do for myself a long time ago. Something that I deserve to do for myself. Something that I deserve to give myself. Peace, freedom from these expectations that was built upon me since a kid. Freedom from these lies that was told about me since I was a kid. People been lying about my character, who I am, and how I act since I was a kid. And I found myself in a position where I could just show my truth. Social media was the worst and best thing that ever happened to me. It caused me a lot of addictions, but it also freed me from those. So I thank you, right? There's duality to everything. The reason why I make the videos I make is not for me. It's for the people just like me. I wanted to give back to the people who are just like me, because it's a very hard battle that you're fighting. And it's okay. You need to take that mask off. You need to show people who you truly are. You deserve to show the world who you truly are. And the world deserves to see you. You don't have to be like everybody else. You have never had to be like everybody else. All you had to do is be like yourself. And you'll see so many opportunities show up for you. So much love is in the air for you. So many people you thought would hate on you. So many people you thought would be like, oh, no, this and that will show you love. You be getting calls talking about, oh, I see what you're doing. And it's not because you changed or anything. It's just you started showing who you truly was. And you're going to see who's supposed to be in your life. You're going to see who's supposed to see the real you. You're going to see who's supposed to enjoy the fruits of the labor with you. And you're going to see who doesn't deserve a chance. You're going to see who doesn't deserve to be in your life. You're going to see who doesn't deserve to be in your presence. Needless to say, they may deserve to be in someone else's, but not yours. And since of doing so, you find yourself growing. See, I do these videos for the people that's going to show their light. Eventually, you're going to have to watch me. Eventually, you're going to have to do whatever it is that makes you unique. Or you're going to be motivated to. But I just wanted to tell you guys this. This is the story of this.